able to have housing. I don't know if that's true. I mean,
For everybody, housing for everybody.
well, how many people? I don't know.
Yeah.
And if we, again, some people think that
Well, you
it's a
can,
larger
but what's
issue.
the trade-off? Is going to be overdevelopment, right? Which Maui County is so against, rightfully so. We don't want this, and I could be wrong, but I don't think we want it to turn into another Oahu or kind of a high density area. So you can have whatever you want
Yeah.
to have, but it always comes at a cost. And being as the Maui development is probably one of the hardest islands to develop on, and it's very stagnant for a reason. As we just, I think there's so much pride in the natural landscape and the slow growth that we have, that if we turn it loose because it's such a desirable place, that pretty soon we'll have more than we bargained for.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think the no part is we already have the issue.
Yeah.
And how do we resolve this? And you talk about density, and one of the things we're looking to do is to allow people to take, if they already have rental potential or Ohanas, or they have space to build an Ohana, but it's not allowed right now, per their zoning, can they get something that allows them to do that? Because now all of a sudden they have created a rental, and we need affordable rentals. That is an area we definitely need. And I think that there's a correlation there. I don't know exactly how related that is. But if we had, more affordable rentals on the island, would we have as many homeless people? I don't know. It depends on the issue.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a way that we could help resolve some of the problem we have in terms of affordability here, because people are living here right now and they are having trouble affording it. And you have people that are born here and they don't want to have to go move somewhere else.
Yeah.
So how do we take what we already have and make it work and soften that market up a little bit? And that is one of the proposed solutions on the table. And I think it's a good one.
Yeah. It's social engineering. And I think that's the key is the people who were born here and have that history here, it needs to override even the second home market, because that's inevitably what's pushing the rents up and the real estate up, is this bombardment of international monies. And of course, I've worked hard, I'm a millionaire, I want to buy a house in the most desirable location in the world, which I believe is Maui, and with the ocean view, and that drives prices up and that drives demand. And it's not just specific to Maui, that's San Francisco, LA, New York. But there needs to be this sustained economy at the baseline. And we don't want too much gentrification. So how do you hedge the free market with the social engineering? You're not going to make everybody happy with that.
Well, the second home market and what's happened, and in terms of our tourism and where our money comes from, that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't know that that's really, you can really change that. And I don't know that we, I don't necessarily think we should.
But I don't think we should too, but you could do legislation as far as raising real property taxes.
Which is also in discussion right now. I mean, I think that the fact that we have the economy we do, and it is so much attributed to what you're talking about, is, dare I say, a good thing, right? In a lot of ways, it's awesome. I mean, you have people that live here. However, the result of that is, creating this affordable housing issue that we need to work towards. So that's really where we have to spend our attention, because the other stuff is going to continue to happen. And we kind of need to kind of mine it and regulate it and make sure that it's done in a good way, or in a complementary way. But I think the focus does have to be on how do we also then make it affordable for people who want to live here that can't live here. And we spend more time working on that because, like I said, the other one is kind of the easy one. But we don't want to favor either one, because they're both really important. And we want to create a strong economy, because you have people here that live here and they say, well, it's hard for me to afford a place, but they love having the development that we have. They love having a Costco. They love having, and some people don't, I get it. But the majority of the people, that, in a way enhances their quality of life. I mean, because of the convenience aspect of it, and they're able to buy certain things cheaper. And I know there's a whole debate about, local versus stuff that comes from the mainland. But in reality, I mean, you look at what the consumer is doing here, and that's what they're doing. And it's not just the second home people. It's people who live here too. So it's always been a very interesting and fascinating process, and a delicate balance when you look at the growth of the community here. But then you also look at it compared to other communities and how far behind we are, and how much is lacking in in our general infrastructure and our growth plan.
Yeah.
And leadership on a county level. I mean, there's some great people that are in those roles and have been over the last several years, and some people that maybe have not been terribly helpful, but it's totally subjective.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Totally subjective.
Yeah. The nature of politics. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I didn't want to, I always said, oh, I hate politics and I never want to get involved in politics. And then I thought, well, one of the reasons that I really don't like it is A, I didn't think I could make a difference. And B, I was pretty ignorant about it and I didn't really know. And so I said, well, how do I find out more information? I'm going to go audit and go check out this government affairs committee and just see what they do. And was blown away at the first meeting to see what they had done and what they had accomplished. And really, obviously, we're the Realtors Association. So our primary, what we look at primarily is home ownership.
Yeah.
Right? And people that own property and ownership rights and how we can serve those people. But obviously we're part of the community as a whole. And we also have a great relationship between, what we're doing. And we want to make sure that at the same time that people who aren't necessarily homeowners, but are part of the Maui community are supported.
Yeah.
And protected. And they do an incredible job.